Right back.
What's up, buddy?
Yo! Jeff Smith.
What the heck's up, dude?
Talk to my homie real quick.
Am I allowed to curse on this thing or no?
What?
Am I allowed to curse or is that?
Fuck yeah.
Say whatever the fuck
What's your
you
best
want.
curse word? Stan, introduce yourself. Tell them who you are.
How are you, Jeff Smith? Stan the Man here. I'm the man on the Menace and The Man. What are you going to do, Dennis?
What's up, buddy?
Oh, he's going to go get us some illumination. We're currently filming at Menace headquarters in the backyard. We set it up on the little patio he has. Oh, did we lose you, Jeff?
What's up?
No, you're there. So how are you today, Jeff Smith?
Yeah, good, man. I didn't have to work a double today, so that's always a good day.
So you're a lineman, right?
Yeah, I'm a lineman apprentice. There's a difference between being a lineman and an apprentice.
Oh, so you guys got the same exact job right now,
Yeah,
too.
but he's much deeper.
Yeah, I'll be 2 years in next month, and Dennis is about a month in, right, Dennis?
See?
Yeah.
See? Hang on, let's back up a little bit. Let's get the lineman in a second. But let's talk about... Jeff was my first training partner that I was like, oh, damn. Like, I need to look up this guy because he's got some skills that I can... that I fucks with. No, I'm dead ass.
Quickly passed up by Dennis, though.
No, I mean, what? Within 6 months, but...
Nah, not that quick. Come on now.
Bro, I was taking you down instantly. But you'd, like, get me in some weird shit. So, Jeff Smith, Jeff the submission technician.
Yep.
Oh, that was his nickname?
That was his nickname. And Jeff, did you teach yourself all of your jiu-jitsu that you know?
I mean, that'd be pretty ignorant to say all of it, but a good portion of it.
But you just would watch YouTube videos, come to the gym, and try it on people, no?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was, Steve taught us a lot of stuff. Steve Blackman was our original. That was the original gym I went to, but Steve's, 260 pounds of solid muscle.
Right. So the things he would do don't necessarily work for guys like you and me.
Guys our size, yeah, exactly.
So you know Jeff Smith from PA.
Yes. Yeah. I came into Blackman MMA, and I went in, and I said, where are your best guys? And Steve pointed into the back of the cage. It was Jeff Smith, Daryl.
Yeah, Daryl, yeah.
And
probably Mike. Mike was pretty decent at that time.
And I think it was Mike, because I don't think Jay was there right away.
No,
he came
was
a little.
at a different gym. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, Mike. And I went with all three of them. Jeff was the first one to tap me out. And then Daryl did get a submission on me. I think all three of them got a submission on me. But we had been rolling for a long time. I mean, it wasn't like they were just snatching shit up right away.
I don't even know how you remember that, Dennis. I can't.
It was my first day.
That was like 11 years ago.
Yeah, you always remember your first day vividly.
Wow, it was. Well, hang on. Dude, I had thought about this day for so long. I was like, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to say, where are your best guys? Let me figure it out fucking instantly if I could do this or not.
Yeah.
And if I went in there and got fucking piss pounded and didn't have a chance, I was going home and that was going to shut it down.
Yeah, well, you knew that wasn't going to happen.
I went in there, I took down everybody, and, like, was giving them a hard time. I didn't know shit. It was like...
The best was when you were pretty new and you and Vinny boxed the guys in jail now. Remember that?
Oh, right.
Beat the shit out of them. That was like a guy from another gym came in. He was like their top dog. And where did he wrestle? He wrestled in college for a little bit and got kicked out.
Old Dominion?
No. It was in Pennsylvania. What is that? One of the Division I schools, a small one. Not Bloomsburg where you went, but it would be...
Millville, Lockhaven.
Yeah. I think he wrestled at Lockhaven.
Okay.
Yeah, and you starched him, and he was, like, astonished. This guy looked like a freaking Chippendale dancer, too.
This guy was yoked. Probably 100. Hang on. The thing is, and to be honest, though, like, Jeff Smith is one of those guys that even to this day, he's my dude. Yeah. Like, I look up to him, and, like, because, like, Jeff he had this... You have this way you walk about you, or what you think of things, like, not a big deal. And I was like, dude, Jeff, that guy's 185 pounds of all muscle. And you were like, yeah, so, like, I'm gonna go in there and fuck him up. And I, like, started, like, there's a saying, like, hang out with the people you want to be like.
Yeah.
And Jeff Smith's a good guy to be around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you'll curse a lot, and like,
Yeah.
you may not want to cut weight, and like, you may want to eat cheeseburgers and shit like that. But like, in terms
It
of
wasn't
like,
cheeseburgers. It was burritos, man.
right, we would go to Nito Burrito, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But Jeff had this like, nah, fuck him. I don't give a shit. I don't care how big he is. And I started adapting this attitude because Jeff Smith had this attitude, and I was like, right there with Jeff Smith. So like, if he thought that, then like, why can't I think that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the attitude you got to have when you fight, man. You can't go in there with any kind of doubt in yourself. And if you have doubt, then I mean, everybody has doubt sometimes. Did I train hard enough? You know, is this guy better than me? Did I cut weight enough the right way? Everybody's got doubt, but you just have to have that confidence. And when that's my motto, man. Anything I put my mind to, I could do. So,
right.
Except for make weight. That was always
No, you always made it though, right?
A couple times I missed it.
Yeah, but you would always like. He would like to like push it as close as he could, and that's why
you want to hear. You want to hear a real good story for
duh.
The show. Okay. So it was my World Series of Fighting fight in Las Vegas. I was fighting Gerard Sanders, who was in the UFC. He wrestled at Oklahoma D1 or Oklahoma State, and I'm like, I get down there and I was like 5-6 pounds over, and I was like dying before the fight. I was actually probably 8, a day or two before the fight. And, they put the scale out the day of the fight. That way you could check your weight. It was the night before. And I stepped on it. I was like, man, I have no idea how I'm going to make weight. I'm like 3-4 pounds over, and I have nothing left in the gas tank, like dry heaving, throwing up in the sauna. Jack Valentine went down with me. I never told anybody this story except for, a couple people. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like 4 or 5 pounds over on the scale, and I got to figure out how to beat this scale. And mind be it that it's the Nevada Athletic Commission. So we're sitting there, and the scale, how like in high school wrestling, the scale is just like a flat scale, and it has like a cord, and then it reads it off on the side. This scale had a bar in the middle of it, and it read it right in front of you. So I figured if I got butt naked on stage and put my 2 big toes on that bar and pushed down.
Right, that was your move. He always told me to hang my toes off the scale.
And I floated at 4 pounds. I was 4 pounds over for that fight. And I made weight because I pushed my big toes down on top of the scale. It saved me like 40% fine. So, hey, it was
oh, my gosh.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And so, hang on. So, he had me sparring this huge jack dude. And every time he sparred, shirt off. Yeah. I remember some other guys came from another gym. This guy was a legit fat ass. He was 240 pounds. And I remember someone was in there moving around with him. And, like, we kind of, like... There was no weight classes at Blackman MMA. Like, if you came, you sparred with whoever showed up. That's how it worked. So Jeff's outside the cage with me, and I'm like, yo, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to double leg that guy. He's like, no chance. He's 240. I'm like, watch this. I go in. I fucking light this dude up. I double leg him. Not just, like, run him down. Lift him and run him across the cage. 24-year-old, or no, I was 22 at the time.
Yeah, young, dumb, and full of cum.
You remember that guy? 240.
I don't.
He was like he was like a shorter guy.
I got hit in the head a lot, Dennis. I wasn't much of a bobber or weaver. I was taking on the forehead and trying to hit back harder.
So I remember our boxing coach showed us it was called a rock back. Rock back. The guy comes forward. You hit him with a 2. And I was moving around with Jeff. And I actually hit the rock back on him and give him the stanky leg, right? That's what Jeff called it, the stanky leg. Because that song had just come out.
Yeah.
Jeff, all right, hey, let me take a second. Then he's like, yo, he made a joke about it. Like, yo, like after I hit him, he's like, oh, shit, you just gave me the stanky leg. And like, I mean, a lot of people, their ego gets in the way with the fight game. Like, where if you knock someone down, maybe they tuck it away and they fucking, go home that night and they're mad at themselves, or they're embarrassed, or they come back super angry and try to, like, hurt their own training partner. That's another thing. Like, Jeff's one of the first people I worked with. There's many times where Jeff could have broken my arm.
Yeah.
But didn't because I was a good training partner. He kind of showed me the ways of respect
lot
and
of it
having
back
fun
then,
in there
you know,
and
that was what 20. I was 21. You're 20. How old are you now? 32 or 31?
32,
I don't even know.
32, 32.
All right, so you're a year older than me. I was 21, and this was before like you had any legit schools in Pennsylvania. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This
Blackman
was
MMA
before it
was like the
even,
first one.
Yeah, it was before it was even legal in Pennsylvania.
Right.
Literally, one of the guys in our gym was the first professional fight in Pennsylvania, Jay.
Yes.
And so, I mean, it was kind of figure it out as you go, man. Me and you, I had never had any formal jiu-jitsu training with the gi on. I never saw any use for it because I was there to fight. And
Right.
I was great on the ground. I would tap black belts out that were like at Gracie gyms in Pennsylvania. And I'm like, why do I need a belt if I'm tapping out their instructor and banana
Right.
splits and twisters? Why do I need to go get a belt for that? So it was kind of, and you're the same way. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, gis are nice.
Well,
I
I'm a
understand the
white belt
concept
one
of them,
stripe
but-
right now currently.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
I'm working on it.
How many brown belts and black belts can you tap out to no gi? Probably a lot.
Maybe.
He's got to out condition them, and then he'll start grabbing guillotines and stuff.
It's all right. He's going to be white belt for a while. Now he's a lineman. He's going to get big, fat, and work all the time. That's just the way it rolls.
No, this guy runs. He with his free time, he's into working out.
Jeff, I was gonna
Yeah.
send you a video. I worked at 16, and I ran like I don't know 3 or 4. I ran to Stan's house.
That Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna send you a video, but I was like, later.
Yeah, that won't last for much longer. Just wait till, you know, the big checks start coming in. You won't even be able to resist, Dennis.
So, I don't. Let's talk linemen. Like I don't like. Like I said, and you told me this. Like, you didn't know what the fuck was up until 6 months in. Like,
Yeah, well, my training was a lot longer than yours. My training, my line school was 13 weeks, and yours was 3 weeks. So
hang
I
on,
had a
hang on,
little
hang
bit
on,
more.
hang on. I was in climbing school for 3 weeks. Now I'm in apprenticeship. I'm out in the field for 10 weeks. I go
Yeah.
back to climbing or to construction school for I'm not exactly sure how long. And then there's secondary school, hot secondary school, and then hot primary school, and I don't know I don't know the time in between these things.
Yeah. Yeah, see, we're a little bit different. We came out qualified to work secondary work right out of school. And then we pretty much were able to do anything as long as they felt confident with you in the air. You have to go in the air with another, like a journeyman lineman, or we call
And
them
are
first
you in
class.
are you in hooks? You're in gaffs, or are you in a bucket
Yeah,
truck?
yeah. We do both. But in training, the 13-week training was all out of the hooks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the people at home watching, hooks are
Yeah, it's what you use to climb a pole.
it's kind of like a little but it's like a little attachment that hooks onto your shoe with a spike that you
Exactly.
punch into the side of the pole that let you climb it.
Google it. That's all you got to say.
Google it. Jeff,
Yeah,
have
just
you ever
like-
thought about the lineman rodeo?
What
No,
is that?
because my company doesn't promote the lineman rodeo. I think you have to go there through your company, and we don't send anybody. So
Okay.
they haven't sent anybody in a while.
So
So
my company, before it was PSNG, because before your company was even your company. What's your company, Jeff? Petco?
Pico.
Pico.
Excellent.
Before it was
Yeah.
Pico, it was another company, right?
No, it's always been Pico.
Always,
Philadelphia
forever.
Electric Company, yeah.
Huh. Because on Long Island, they keep shifting who owns it. You know?
Yeah, well, Pico is owned by Exelon, but it's always just been called Pico.
Oh.
And it's probably kind of the same thing with you guys.
But the last, or it might have been Lipa, or Lipa, when Lipa owns what's now PSCG, I think they paid my instructor to train for the rodeo, and he went out and got paid to do it. I don't think PSCG, which is the company I'm in now, does that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure with a UFC card, I probably could.
Now, are we talking actual rodeo?
No, rodeo in terms of like you go out to Missouri.
You're going to ride a bull.
No. You put on lineman gear. Like, for example, you start with nothing on. You have to throw on your hooks. your belt and climb up and down a pole under a certain amount of time.
And it's a competition. Oh my
Yes.
God, that's you all day.
Yeah,
I
you have to do,
know,
like, a
but some
rescue
of the
at top,
competitions
too.
are not like I think they're not about athletics. 'Cause a lot of them are like some technique. Like, for example, like you have to do a rescue. You have to go up and like let down a dummy or something like that. And then in terms of going up and down as fast as you can, you have to like carry an egg up and then put the egg in your mouth and carry it down without it's breaking. I'm like, what? That's
Weird
some
shit.
like
Yeah,
little
I've never
kid
even
like
heard any of
hokey
that stuff.
pokey like.
Still, that would be a pretty fun experience, I'd imagine.
I want
Are
to
they
do
paying
like
you?
brute. No, I mean, I'm sure I could be like, hey, PSTG, I used to be like, I could bring home gold for us. Come on, pay me to do this. But I don't know. Out in the Midwest, like, right, Jeff? These guys, that's all they do, right?
Yeah, I mean, those guys whose dads have done this, whose grandpas have done this, and they're little skinny, wiry guys, and
Like they're in
you know,
hooks
it's
at like fucking 6.
5.
Yeah.
It's not really a Puerto Rican game. It might be.
Now I also didn't start wrestling until I was in 7th grade, and I got pretty far.
Yeah.
Now what? Most of the people that excel are the people that start at 5, right? No, I
Not
feel like there's
necessarily.
some other
I mean,
people.
some guys get burnt out.
Didn't Usman start in like high school?
I have no clue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard a lot of stories of people starting later than 7th grade.
Yeah, but they hit it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now what, Jeff? You just did jiu-jitsu. You weren't a wrestler?
I wrestled a little bit in high school, but just enough to get a good base.
No, he
to start
taught
jiu-jitsu.
himself all of his jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, but he said he
Yeah.
didn't
On
want
you
to.
look at my
YouTube.
record-
No, you didn't go to like a jiu-jitsu school, right?
Nah, I pretty much just YouTube, saw stuff on UFC, watched little videos. They used to have this like Sheer Dog Gracie move of the week or something like that. I want
Oh,
to
for
say.
sure. You can learn a lot from that just watching
That's
Yeah,
Jeff.
and,
Jeff, that's crazy.
Yeah. If you look at my record, I think overall with my amateur fights, which my amateur fights were all under professional rules before it was even
Same.
legal in Pennsylvania. I think I was 16-3, and then I think 13 of my wins are by submission, and I hit like north-south choke, toe hold, arm bar, all kinds of submissions, triangle chokes. I mean, I hit a lot of submissions, and they were all basically self-learned and self-taught. But you learn you learn from who you go with. So you get a guy that comes from out of town for 2 weeks, knows something. You see it and you use it, and then you just redo it over and over and over and try to make it better. And that's kind of the way I rolled. It was all kind of, I mean, Steve taught me some stuff, but I don't want to discredit that. He was a huge influence. But, when you're 160 pounds, you got to just learn what works for you. And not every submission works for every guy. You know what I mean?
For sure. So I remember I was cornering Jeff one time in Pennsylvania, and this like big jacked Irish dude. Looking back at now, like he might have been on something. This guy was yoked, and he's kind of like the stand-up is kind of 50-50, but he's kind of having his way with Jeff in terms of taking him down and kind of hanging on to him. I'm like, yo, Jeff, like in between, was it the second going to the third round?
Oh, I don't even know. Is it the one where I fought Cody Stevens?
Was he like looks like a goddamn leprechaun on steroids?
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah. So I'm like, Jeff, bro, get the fuck off your back. Like, you gotta win this fight. You're not gonna win off your back. He's like, looked at me like, man, I got this. I'm like, yo, you're stupid. Like, you're fucked up. This is like, you're about to lose this fight, and you, to me, you don't care. That's the look he gave me. Like, I got it. Sure enough, third round, fucking arm bars the guy. I'm like, you motherfucker. He's like, Dan, I was feeling that the whole time. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Yo, because we would be like, so like, Stan, you've been to a lot of fights where you watch guys warm up in the back. Their coaches are there. They're hitting pads with them. They're going over techniques. For us, we'd be in the back. It'd be like me, him, our boy Mike. We'd be just like, we would just be like, do a couple of stretches, little shadow box by ourselves, go out and fight. Like, no one was holding mitts for us, and we weren't going over technique. We would just like tell each other what we're gonna do to our opponent, and that was like, I don't know. And we just go out and do it.
In all seriousness, Blackman's MMA was kind of known as like the outcast gym because it was like the original MMA gym. And you'd have jiu-jitsu gyms. You know, you had jiu-jitsu gyms in York, Lancaster, and Philly. They would come in thinking they were good at jiu-jitsu, but we weren't just jiu-jitsu guys. We would fight, and like we would fight. We would spar 3 times a week, and I would never wear headgear because I always thought, what's the point? I'm still gonna get hit. What's the point of wearing headgear? And those guys, it was literally like freaking a killer. So these guys would all come, and then their best guy would come and get smoked by like 4 or 5 guys, and they would never come back.
Yeah, we went pretty hard.
So now, why'd you stop fighting, Jeff? Did life just get in the way?
There.
Yeah.
It was just time to grow up, man. I was tired of being poor. Like
Delicious.
Dennis took it further than anybody has out of that gym. He had a great career in the UFC, had a lot of fights, but it was really just it's time to grow up, man. I was tired of being poor. When you're fighting on a local regional circuit, if you're getting $2,500 a show, $2,500, that's to win. That's a great payday. And say you win 5 fights a year, that's $25,000. That's nothing. You know what I mean? What can you do with $25,000? Nothing.
I mean, you were there. I'm looking at your record. You made it to the Ultimate Fighter. You were season 15, so you were the year after Menace. Yeah. And then even your last fight, you beat Brian Kelleher. Do you still watch the fights? Like you've seen Kelleher.
Yeah,
Kelleher's winning in the UFC.
Yeah, I watch him occasionally. It's just, dude, fighting's a grind on you physically, emotionally, mentally. And, dude, when you're 24, 25, have nothing to your name, you're broke. You know what I mean? It's depressing. And it was just time. When you don't have the fire, it's just time to hang it up. And, it was time to pursue a career,
Yeah.
When you're at 25, 26, that's an important place in your life that's the thing with guys in the MMA and the UFC, they got to have a backup plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it's, I'm not saying you got to go to school, you got to do this, but you got to start learning the trade, start making yourself look good on your resume to be hired somewhere else. Because really, man,
because once they're done with you, they're going to spit, it's not like they have a place for you to go. Once MMA in general is done with you, it's not like they're like, oh yeah, we got a job for you over here. You're gonna make this much money, or like we've been putting money away for you, and
you have a retirement program. No. We have a job. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Exactly.
What? You lost 3 in a? Oh, well, you're no good to us anymore.
Brian Caraway, he lost 2 in a row. All right, well, let's talk. We want to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
They were fine letting him go, apparently.
Yep, that's how it is, man. It was just.
You know who they weren't fine letting go?
Man.
Dennis Bermudez.
For me to make it back, into the UFC, I would have had to maybe go on like a 3-4 fight win streak, and I just wasn't.
That would have taken a full year.
Yeah,
minimal.
At least probably a year and a half if you're lucky, because the regional circuit, so many fights fall through.
Yeah,
you're not going to fight for cheap, and a lot of guys just they just want you to fight for nothing. And when you have 10 wins under your belt, you're on the Ultimate Fighter, you don't want to fight for $1,000 and $1,000 plus $5 a ticket. You just don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, because Jeff, like you said, Stan, Jeff was the season after me. He fought to get in the house, but the difference between Jeff's season and my season was his season you had 1 round to prove you belonged in the house. So, and I remember watching it and vividly like, yo, this is my boy. Like, he's going to crush it. And he was, he was beating the guy in the stand-up. It was definitely in Jeff's favor. The guy shot and took Jeff down, right?
I put him in a knee bar, and
but he took you down, right? He took you down, right?
Yeah, he took me down.
Jeff hit 3, not 1, 3, like they were right fucking there, submissions, where the guy was like almost about to tap. But the guy was on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you're on top and you're just fucking hanging on for a ride and defending submissions, are those points in your favor?
No, I don't think. But
but it just depends on the judge. Now, had
exactly.
Jeff been given 2 more rounds, that guy would have got finished 1,000%.
Yeah, I think I would have subbed him.
For sure.
That was my mentality. It's kind of like a shark in the water, and I'd get it eventually. So.
And that's why. So after you didn't get in the house and you didn't get in the show, you're like, fuck this, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
You didn't fight anymore.
They asked me like in the interview after the fight. They're like, "Well, who do you want to see win that you're not now that you're not in the house?" And I'm like, to be honest, I could give a shit less. I'm not even gonna watch this now.
yeah, I wouldn't.
Fuck that.
I tell you what would be in your favor is not the fight to get in the house. With only like, if they had it then, was the Contender Series.
Yeah, no doubt.
That would have been gold for you.
Yeah, but the problem is I'm like a jiu-jitsu guy, man. They're always looking for freaking knockout artists on that show. That's how I feel like. So
yeah, but
like,
if you sub the dude real
exciting,
quick.
But, I don't know.
Yeah, they're looking for.
I feel like submissions are on their way out in the UFC. Now it's just, I mean, you don't see that many as you used to, in my opinion. Nothing like you see your standard arm bars and.
Well, you see when someone gives up and like, yeah, you can have my neck.
Yeah, exactly. And you could tell when somebody gives up, especially when you're a fighter. I would coach guys down in Virginia and for amateur pro fights, and I could just tell when they gave up, and I got no respect for those people. My pro debut, man, I remember I slammed the guy, hit him, I jumped, but I hit like a high crotch.
Can I pause you real quick?
Yeah.
So before Jeff's pro debut, I had already been in the gym for some time, and I was going over takedowns with him and stuff like that, right? He loses because he got knocked out. The other guy didn't knock him out. Jeff Smith knocked out Jeff Smith. He comes back after the loss like, oh, I thought I was supposed to slam him this way. I'm like, no. So he picked the guy up in the double, and when he went to spike him, Jeff jumped on his own head versus pushing the guy over with his head.
Yeah. No.
Am I wrong?
The story was, if you watch the video, it's on YouTube. I pick him up to slam him, and he grabs the top of the cage, which completely stopped my momentum from dumping him the other way. And he had a guillotine choke wrapped on me. And then if he has a guillotine, it doesn't matter because you're going to dump his legs the opposite way. But he stopped my momentum, and I had one choice. It was either get choked out or slam him the other way. So I'm like, I'm just going to slam him the other way. And I landed on my head, and he choked me unconscious anyway.
And that's your only, like, actual loss, no?
Well, Gerard Sanders at World Series of Fighting, I lost a 3-round decision. He just took me down and elbowed me.
And wait, you're saying this was the first amateur fight or the?
No, his pro debut.
Fight,
yeah. John,
then I won 9 straight.
So Jeff Smith, on paper, seriously, has one real loss where the guy on that night was better.
But even it's just funny, like the MMA world, like the guy that he fought that night is the guy Hugh McKenna beat in Bellator, and then even like his last fight, he beat Brian Kelleher. Like Jeff Smith's last fight. It's just funny how it's such a small world. Like Dennis now trains with Brian Kelleher.
Yeah, no, Jeff Smith is the deal.
Yeah.
Like I remember, so when I was fighting Kawajiri, Jeff came out to support because I was fighting in Pennsylvania, and he's around Greg, and Greg looked up his record. He's like, dude, why the fuck did this guy stop fighting? Like
I was thinking that same exact
really good.
Thing. Yeah, that's why I was asking him, why is he done? Why did he stop?
I mean, he's making good money now. He's married. He's got twins.
Twin daughters, yeah.
Twin daughters.
Today.
It's what's he gonna do? Stop being a lineman and not have benefits for his kids, and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The only reason it makes sense for Jeff Smith and this is honest, to quit being a lineman was, Jeff, how much would you have to get paid to fight for it to make sense? 200,000?
Oh, no, linemen make more than that.
No, 200,000 per fight. Say you fight 2-3 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably 200,000.
Like, say he fights twice a year at 200. Like, that's what it has to. That would make sense for him to quit being a lineman.
Yeah. Pretty much, when a lineman, I mean, lineman is like the best blue collar job you could get, essentially. So it's like people that don't know. It's weird because you're not really even supposed to talk about the money that lineman makes, but yeah,
it's a good job to have.
But yeah, basically,
good job. Great benefits, union, cool trade, dangerous work, which for people like me and Jeff, we like that. We fought for a living.
Yeah.
You don't think our life being on the line, like while we're up at fucking 40, 60, 70 feet in the air, like, is a little exciting?
What's the highest you've gone off the ground?
35 feet.
Highest? Probably
Me.
70 foot. I've climbed a 75.
I'm not
pole.
there yet. They won't let me. I'm still like a very, very new apprentice.
So now you have no fear of heights. You'd go up that 70-foot pole, no
I mean,
problem.
if Jeff
don't even
Smith,
think about it.
well, no, the thing is like I'm in a class, right? Dennis ain't raised by no bitch. Like if let me see one dude go up there, guess who's going right behind him?
Exactly, dude.
Like
it's not. You see one dude, you want to be the first dude.
Right. And with that being said, right, you go up, you're going to do it fucking 30, 40, 100 times. You get comfortable with it. You get, all right, this is cool. I'm cool up here.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the great thing is, line work's not going anywhere. It's something that you can make a great living off of. Your family's going to be set forever as long as you spend your money right. And you find a lot of guys that blow crazy money. They have to have the shore house, the big house, and a boat, and a $60,000 truck. As long as you don't get sucked into that life and you save your money and you spend it good, man, you'll be set. Your family will be set. You're going to have a great retirement. You have great health care. I got a 401k, I got a pension plan. That's all stuff the UFC doesn't provide.
Yeah.
And that's all stuff you need to live. I mean, your fight career is how long? And think of all the damage you take.
Yeah.
All the damage
you're taking years off your life.
Yeah, think of all the damage Dennis has taken in this fight. How many fights did Dennis have that were just slugfests? At least 5, 6 of them in the UFC alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Counting the amateur backwoods fights that nobody even knows about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, fighting's a very tough sport.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely though. I mean, I don't regret fighting. I'm glad I did. It made me the person I am today. It gave me uncanny just.
It builds character.
It builds hard work ethic. And I remember I had like a defining moment in my life that's kind of driven me to even my job now, because my job now is an awesome job. But I applied to my job. I had 5 assessments, hands-on assessments, where I went and tried out 5 times. And the first 4 times they told me no. And the 5th time they hired me. And it was depressing, but I had one fight that I could contribute that to. I had an amateur fight in Virginia. And I was told it was a 145-pound title fight. I actually made weight for it, but I was gassed. And the guy I was fighting was told it was
it outside?
No, it was inside. It was Gladiator Fight Club. And they probably produced 4 or 5 guys in UFC out of that card alone.
Yeah, I fought in Gladiator Fight Clubs.
Yeah,
but when I did it was outside. That's why I asked. At the fairgrounds.
But so they told the guy I was fighting it was a 155-pound title fight. So I get down there and, you train 3-4 months. What are you going to do? You're going to fight the guy. You don't care if he was told 155 and you were told 145. You train to fight, you're going to fight. So I remember walking to the cage. I was just gassed. Like my arms are gassed, bad weight cut. And I'm like, man, I am going to lose this fight. And this guy was better. Yeah. This guy was a better wrestler than me. And it was a 5-round fight. It was like the 3rd round. I'm like, just keep getting taken down. I can't do anything. This guy's stopping all my subs and striking. He just takes me down. And I'm thinking in this fight, I'm like, look, man, I could quit. And the way I'll quit is I literally turn over, let him put a choke on me. I won't even tap. I'll just let him choke me unconscious. I literally remember this conversation in my head. I'm like, the way I thought quitting would be with him letting
go out with a warrior,
choke unconscious. And I remember having this conversation in the middle of the fight, and I'm like, man, I'm not a little bitch like that. And that's like the defining moment in my life that always just drove me to be the best I could. And I took that from the cage all the way to where I work now. I had, after I was done fighting, I had a shitty job. I was making $15 an hour. Then I built my resume, got a better job where I was making $24 an hour. I had a decent job. I can make a decent living. I would be making okay money, but I'm like, I know I want better, and I got better for myself. I feel like guys that are high level fighters, or even guys that have got to that cusp, you got to have something different about you. And that's all the world in the real life. In real world, you need to take that with you and apply that, how hard you worked in training to real life. And I think that's why guys like Dennis, guys like me, if you're not fighting, if you are fighting, you're destined for success, because that's just who you are as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not Ferrari success, but
you can have a Ferrari as a lineman.
Nice Corvette.
It just depends how stupid you want to spend your money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. I don't know if any of these guys are listening to, but I work with a guy that made $260,000 last year as a lineman. You know.
Yeah.
You could get a used Ferrari for that. You know what I mean?
But that's all your money. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but $260,000 year after year after year after year. Yeah.
Yeah, you just stack it and stack it and stack it. You don't buy a boat.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a boat.
Saying.
I'm gonna buy a boat next year.
Menace is gonna buy that boat.
You want to come on the boat?
Dennis is gonna be that guy that has like $6,000 in bills a month, and he's strapped for cash.
No chance.
No, we're about to have the biggest podcast in life, fighting MMA.
Ooh, that's right.
That's what we're working towards.
So I'm gonna have Lyman money and hopefully Joe Rogan money.
Nice, dude. I hope so.
If we do 1/10 of what Joe Rogan does, we'll fucking crush it. Joe Rogan does millions.
Yeah, I just need
what does Joe Rogan make? What does Joe Rogan make?
I've heard weird numbers. I've heard he makes like $60 million a year.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But that's fucking insane for podcasting. That's fucking nuts.
Well, no, because I mean he's triple dipping.
Even if he made 10, okay.
Well, he's the most influential podcast out there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, even if you absolutely lowballed what Joe Rogan might be making, $5 million, he's fucking set. He's doing pretty good, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, we just needed like a tenth of $5 million.
Dude, the YouTube make good money, man. I watch a lot of YouTube videos because it's got an hour-long ride. I watch like real estate videos, and those guys will break down how much money they make, and it's unbelievable. You know, they're making $150,000 a month in YouTube revenue. It's insane.
Do you watch Menace Tube, dude?
Yeah, when I have time.
Ooh, you heard how his voice pitched there? Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah. All the Menace and the Man shows are on Menace Tube.
Oh, I'll be on Menace Tube then more often.
Oh, for sure, Jeff. Dennis has been trying to get you on for a minute, and it's just been scheduling.
Well,
Jeff's always working. Yeah, he's always working.
He's chasing that money, doing doubles.
Doubles through the night. So I was working 16 hours a time and a half, which is fucking sweet.
Nah, but like I was saying, man, Jeff's one of those influential guys that like I would get an opponent, I would hit up Jeff. Jeff, what do you think? Because Jeff will give it to you straight. Yeah. He like if you're like I've watched him in the gym tell motherfuckers like, yo, you're about to get your ass kicked because that guy's good and you don't train hard enough.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that was a little harsh.
It's a fight game, dude. You want to see a guy go in there get his face crushed because you were too much of a bitch to tell him he wasn't ready?
And then, guys be like, hey, Jeff, will you corner me? Nope. I think you're going to lose. I don't corner people I think are going to lose.
You don't work hard enough, yeah.
Hang on. To their face. Yeah. Jeff's one of the realest motherfuckers out there. So, like.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Nope, not cornering you. Don't think you're going to win. And I only corner winners. I was like, holy shit.
He's like Ricky Bobby's dad.
Yeah.
First or last.
So, like, you know, like, yo, Jeff, I got so-and-so. What do you think? Yo, you're good. All right, I'm good. Yo, Jeff, I got so-and-so. He hits pretty hard, but, like, you do this, you'll be good. All right, I'm good.
See, I mean, I haven't listened to all your podcasts, but I don't know if people know the true depth of your story. Like, you came from fucking nothing in Harrisburg, dude. Like, when I met Dennis, he had nothing, man. Like,
I could wrestle like a motherfucker. That was it.
He had some concrete job where this guy would stiff him pay. One time he slept on my couch, and the next day I took him to interview. I think it was at Olive Garden. He didn't even have a shirt. I had to give him a shirt to wear to this interview.
And I didn't get the job.
He didn't get the job, yeah.
Fuck you, Olive Garden.
Dennis really is like the American dream. He like made it, dude, and I was always super proud of him because he did something I never did. You know what I mean? So it was cool to watch his career fold out.
Oh, for sure. Like I said, Jeff, I've heard a lot about you. Like, Menace speaks very highly of you, and he's always told me about pretty much, I would say, the legend of Jeff Smith.
Yeah, Jeff Smith's one of those motherfuckers.
And then even he's been putting off talking about his job because he was like, nope, wait till we get Jeff Smith on.
Yeah, people have been wanting to talk about lineman stuff. They've been telling, hey, we want to hear more about your lineman. I'm like, no, I need to talk to another lineman that also fucking fought too.
Yeah. Oh, that's one thing, dude. You'll never live down being a fighter. Guys would be like, oh, I think, so-and-so could take you. And it'd be some, like, guy, you know what I mean?
They know that at where I'm at, I think guys that have never fought would be like, oh, man, we got to keep Dennis off that crew because that guy did jiu-jitsu or whatever, and like he might challenge Dennis and whatever. But then I'll see these guys like in the hallway or like we'll be talking, and they bring up nothing about any kind of combat sports.
Yeah. Well, they're just like
nothing.
They're basically tipping their cap to you, like I'm good.
I mean, like the only way I know that they did combat sports is because I heard, like while I was on a job, like this guy does that.
Even for Jeff, I'll ask this: Jeff, were you a street fighter? Did you not back down?
No, man.
Not at all.
No, man.
Jeff.
No, man.
Jeff has fought in the streets. I've watched one.
Yeah.
Well, did I watch it or I heard a story? Jeff. It was 160 pounds and was one of the top bouncers in Harrisburg. Downtown
I was
Harrisburg.
a bouncer, but everybody used to try to step to me because I was a small guy, and I choked, I think, 2 guys out unconscious in the bar.
And then he would come to the gym and tell me about it.
Well, what it is, too, is like if people do know you, they know that you did that shit at the highest level, so they probably think like, oh, I'm going to get the Menace in the street.
No.
That's what they probably think.
No, I think it's like, I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. He was number 6 in jiu-jitsu. I'm not even going to talk to him about it because it's apples. And, it's...
Little do they know you got 1 stripe on your white belt.
Right. Yeah.
Which means absolutely nothing.
Yeah. It's a joke, actually. I'm like technically a 1-stripe white belt from our same coach. And Deepo thinks it's the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah. No, but Stan is actually he's fucking 1 stripe from a black belt, if not black belt, or like a high level brown belt.
Used to be. Now I'm shot.
Oh yeah, he's fat now.
My technique is there. I could teach people really well, but I don't do that shit.
Well, you just gotta go out there and he's got.
We could talk all day about lineman stuff, but nobody's gonna understand what we're saying, Dennis. So
right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't even understand what you're saying. So.
Yeah, you don't even understand because you've only been there 5 weeks.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
The biggest thing is, dude, just follow the guidelines and be safe because your life could change in an instant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once you've done it so long, you don't even think about it. You know what I mean? You'll have 13,000 volts on a rubber hose on your bucket, and you'll be taking it up 20 feet in the air, and you won't even think about it. You know, 13,000 volts is like having. What's it? I can't even equate it. No, it's like 13,000. Like maybe like 26 houses. I don't know. Like if you were to stick your finger in 26 outlets in 26 different houses, that's like the equivalent of something stupid like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I've learned like a lot of stuff, and what not to do and what like, and I'm out there watching on the reel. I'm like, damn. Bunch of these motherfuckers are cowboys, huh? They just give 0 fucks. They're just gonna wing it, huh? They're just gonna go for it.
Just like my fight career did.
But you see that, right?
That's with experience.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, well, you're still tiptoeing. Like, wait, if I touch this, am I gonna get electrocuted? They're
like,
no.
Well, in lineman work, in general, there's like 4 walls of protection. From like.
Oh my God.
Right.
I don't know, dude. See, you're still trained from school. I forgot all that stuff.
Right. No. So, like, there's, so for every job, it's like 4 walls of protection. And I watch some of these guys work, and I'm like, huh. Yeah, he's not going to do that? He's just going to go for it? Okay. But, like, they know, they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The experience. Experience is a motherfucker in anything you do.
Well, it could also be deadly, though.
Yes.
In this line
if
of work.
you get careless.
Right, Jeff?
Yeah, I would say line work is more dangerous than fighting, to be honest.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Of course it is.
20 to 40 people die a year doing line work, So
year after year, lineman work is in the top 10 deadliest jobs in the world, no?
Yeah, it is. But, a lot of people are careless. So you just got to follow every safety precaution and never be too overconfident. Don't be afraid to ask. If you don't know something, you got to ask. Right. So that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Which, to get to the level I got in fighting, you have to look at people that you think know more than you and ask these questions. And is this right? And push your pride aside, thinking you know everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt.
So this is right up my alley.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jeff Smith, we appreciate finally having you on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guys.
We want to make you come on the show again. You know, we obviously are going to have some updates in Menace's lineman career, but also I feel like we're missing some stories here. Like you guys.
Oh my God, dude! I could talk for hours.
Yep.
So we almost need the Jeff Smith episode, if you will. I feel.
Or I mean, if we're doing like a fight companion, Jeff Smith is super knowledgeable about MMA and what people are doing and why they're doing it. We can have him call in for.
For sure. So the next time that we do a fight companion, it won't be this weekend, but maybe August 17th we'll do one. Maybe we'll.
I mean, in time. It's not crazy to think Jeff Smith might come to Long Island to visit.
Yeah, PA's not far, but he's got a family and kids.
It
you know
is, but I mean, hey,
but he's
could be a good excuse for him to get away, or he could bring the family. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got bunk beds.
We'll figure it out though, but we're definitely gonna have Jeff Smith on again. And,
hang on, you sell the pit. You pitch it to your wife, babe. We're gonna go to the beach. The beach. I live, 15 minutes from the beach.
Best beaches in the world. 15 minutes.
Go.
Yeah.
There you go. That'll be the pitch.
All right, so you're the man, Jeff Smith. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna miss you, Jeff.
All right, later, buddy.
All right,
Love you too, Dennis.